Oh my God. What's up, guys? Oh Lord. I mean, if you guys were trying to access the stream earlier, so I've never encountered this before, but I had everything set up. I had all of the, stream keys, all of that. Everything was good. It wasn't on my side. For whatever reason, YouTube was not allowing me to use that particular one that I made. So I couldn't connect to it, even though it said I was live. And it was actually coming through live on Facebook. It was coming through live on Twitch. But I couldn't get YouTube working. So I don't know. But thanks for joining me, guys. Welcome back. This is JE Live. We had a show earlier, in case you guys missed it. I had Ron Clements on. We talked about Route 66, a bunch of other stuff. It was a lot of fun. We also got out a Sony Michel video early on in the day. So I figured, well, with the occasion going on and a lot of stuff, on the rise, let's do a live stream. And so, I think a lot of you can thank the Discord community. If you're not already in there, Discord made it pretty clear that they wanted a live stream. So, alas, here we are, live stream. Welcome back, guys. How we doing? Ashton, what's up? Preston, Scott, Shavante, how we doing? Connor, who needs Xbox when you have a Sony PlayStation? Michelle. That's pretty much what the Rams said. Yep, that's right, Aiden. I've been watching Michel's film at work. Dude runs with such power, drags dudes with him, fights for every yard. Yeah, Scott, I think I'm going to get into it further, but I don't think that there is a surprise here that they went after Michel. This is somebody that we brought up on the show, in response to people saying, well, Kareem Hunt is a pretty good option. Well, Kareem Hunt's not an option because he's exactly what makes the Browns the Browns. Their offense is so different. So, with that being said, I never really felt like he was an option. I did feel, however, that James Robinson could have been an option. However, the injury to Travis Etienne, which is really unfortunate, and I hope he recovers really quickly. He's going to miss the entire season. The injury to that basically made James Robinson the go-to guy. So there was no backing out. Keep in mind, I think they would have traded James Robinson. Hear me out when I say this. Urban Meyer coached Carlos Hyde, has that familiarity with Carlos Hyde. Wouldn't have been surprised if he rolled with Carlos Hyde. I'm not saying that's the right idea, but I'm saying that's probably what I expected them to do. And so I feel like it's honestly not entirely a shock to me. You have the injury to Travis Etienne shutting down his season indefinitely. And then, of course, not long after that, the Rams make a trade for Sony Michel. I know that there's a lot that goes into that type of decision, including the thumb injury to Darrell Henderson. But I do think part of that could have gone into the injury to Travis Etienne, kind of closing the door on being able to go out and get a James Robinson. But this actually makes more sense than James Robinson. As much as I like James Robinson, here's the thing. Robinson has a ton of flexibility. He's cheap and would have been a long-term thing. Now, I just listed a bunch of reasons why you should want Robinson. However, with the Rams concerned, the Rams' thought process, they wouldn't want Robinson. Here's why. Sony Michel is an expiring contract. One, they're going to get a guy that's going to work his tail off because he is in a contract year. But two, they believe in Cam Akers. They are going to fight tooth and nail to bring him back and make sure that, as long as he, makes it through this, this long, rigorous process, he is going to be the starting running back. I think that was made clear by this trade, is that they see him long term. But hear me out in a reason why they went after Sony Michel. Not for, the fact is that, he's running some big games, obviously scoring a touchdown against the Rams in the Super Bowl, but just, the fact he's had close to 3,000 total yards in his career. He has, familiarity with Thomas Brown, the Rams running back coach. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, it does. It has a lot to do with that. But I'm going to say something that maybe a lot of people aren't talking about. What if the Rams they absolutely wanted, like everyone keeps talking about Cam Akers and losing Cam Akers and how the offense doesn't work, right? Everyone keeps talking about how Darrell Henderson isn't Cam Akers. Everyone talks about how Darrell Henderson was drafted in the 3rd round, and then the next year the Rams went out and got a running back in the 2nd, so they don't like Darrell Henderson. But what if we're missing the big picture here? They like them in tandem. The Rams have been copying teams left and right, and that's not a bad thing. The league is a copycat league. So what if, and I'm not shocked because look at Jacob Harris. We talked about this. I feel like Jacob Harris was copying the trend, going out and getting a receiver / tight end hybrid, using him as a flex. You see the Falcons getting Pitts. You see Darren Waller, who's a converted wide receiver to tight end out of Georgia Tech. He didn't work with the Ravens, but he's working with the Raiders. So I think the Rams were copying that. But teams are starting to see, wow, Baker Mayfield is somewhat limited. But however, the Browns are very, very intriguing because the Browns run the ball harder than anybody else. They have Kareem Hunt, who's a top 12 running back, and they have potentially a top 5 running back in Nick Chubb. So my point here, and what I'm saying, is that maybe, just maybe, the Rams always planned on having a tandem between Cam Akers, a big bruising back, 5'11", 215, 220, around that can actually, punch you in the mouth, make you pay, while also going with the lightning strike, which would be Darrell Henderson, the guy that can, has the long speed, can be your change of pace, has ability in the receiving game, obviously can stay on the field because of his pass protection ability. So this actually hit my head on. And what it was this. Sony Michel is so similar to Cam Akers. If you really think about it, this is why they made the trade. They could have gone out and gotten Todd Gurley or Adrian Peterson or Duke Johnson, but none of which are similar in the stature, in the filled out, body structure, and what they do to the way Sony Michel emulates Cam Akers. So could I not make the argument the Rams wanted a guy who was the closest to Cam Akers so they could see what their offense could have looked like to a degree? Keep in mind, there is a little bit of drop-off here. I do think Akers is better than Sony Michel. I'm not saying that's not the case. But could we not make that argument that they just want to see how this goes? Because they want it to be close. They had a game plan. They had a thought process. Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson. I kept saying Darrell Henderson is not a true backup. He is going to be used a ton. And now, as you guys can see in my ticker below, I've actually projected Sony Michel's season, his statistics since coming over to the Rams. You can see I have Michel having close to 500, 600 yards total offense. Because that is exactly what we're looking at. Sony Michel is going to be used in the passing game. And Sony Michel is going to be used in the running game. Sony Michel is going to be great in short yardage situations. Sony Michel is going to be great at the goal line. And Sony Michel can block. So Sony Michel offers pretty much everything Cam Akers does, except honestly, he's a better blocker than Cam Akers. He's not as explosive. He did run like a 4.6 40 at the combine. But keep that in mind. They wanted to keep things very similar to how they wanted to run things if Cam Akers was healthy. And I think this is smart. And furthermore, because the NFL is against the compensatory picks, those, what's the word I'm looking for? Conditional compensatory picks. Now the Rams are only giving up a 6th rounder next year and a 4th rounder in 2023. That is pretty damn good, I'm not going to lie. So that is my spat on that. I'm going to recover. I'm going to go through everyone's comments. I appreciate you all stopping in here. We're getting big here. I'm definitely starting to feel football season coming on. We had 88 people. You guys are freaking amazing. I forgot to tell you this. We had 88 people live. That was the maximum. We had them live. I was sharing. I was premiering my Sony Michel video, and I had 88 people live. Do you know what that does to me? That makes me feel so good. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I think it's cool when I have double digits. I understand people are busy, and I'm on the East Coast, so I release videos a little bit earlier than some. So when I had 88 people live this morning, man, I was so giddy. I'm so excited about my future, about the channel's future, about the Rams' future. There's a lot to be excited about, folks. A lot. And so I couldn't wait to come on here. As you can see, I'm pretty energized. Probably the sparkling ice caffeine. Give me a sponsorship already. I kid. All right. Let's see. Let's go back here. Let's recoup here because you guys are are doing the whole Ask Me Anything, which I always ask you to. So, all right. So we got Xbox team is here. All right, Luke, get out. No, I'm kidding. What's good, ADM? How we doing? You called it, I swear. Well, I tried. I felt pretty good that if the Rams did make a trade, it would be for Sony Michel. However, I will say I don't think Darrell Henderson's injury prone. I think that is a bunch of hogwash. I do think it's entirely reasonable to think the Rams wanted to emulate what they could have had with Cam Akers to a degree. And on top of that, I think it's entirely reasonable to think putting that much pressure on Jake Funk and Xavier Jones, guys that have never played an NFL snap before in the regular season, putting that much pressure in case Henderson went down, I think the Rams, to a degree, were panicking a little bit with that. I think that they felt good. I think it always sounds good. You're getting these guys the reps. But as it gets closer and closer to week one, you have the thumb scare, and all of a sudden you start to, envision Jake Funk and Xavier Jones carrying the rock week one, and that kind of freaks you out. So, Sean McVay, who had experience with this, by the way, they didn't go out and get anybody. If you remember, they didn't go out and get C.J. Anderson immediately. I've talked about this many times on the podcast and on this show, and I think it got to Sean McVay because Sean McVay knows firsthand what happens when he went in-house, and he relied on in-house. When Todd Gurley got hurt, he's like, well, we drafted John Kelly in the 6th round, and oh, look at that. We have Justin Davis, who is that's right, a standout UDFA. Well, who did I just describe? Well, in a sense, I might have just described 7th-round pick, Jake Funk, that situation, and then the impressive UDFA, Xavier Jones. So, I mean, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting different results. Would that not have been the same type of thing? Potentially. So I think that might have gotten to Sean McVay, realizing that. And so they went out and they got their C.J. Anderson, albeit via a trade, but they kind of did. So I would say that. Yes, unfortunately for Otis Anderson, I do think he is a guaranteed cut, but I don't think he's a guarantee to not make the practice squad. I do think they like him enough where he could make the practice squad, had 2 kick returns. He's the only one that returned kicks. Thought that was interesting, but I don't think he's going to make the roster, especially now that they have added Sony Michel. Okay, let's see what we got here. So, really wish we got Nyheim Hines. I don't think Nyheim Hines was ever available, sadly. He's a fun running back, can do a little bit of everything. Best running back besides Robinson we could have traded for, and he went off the market. Agreed. Hey, what's up, Henry? How we doing? Would have preferred Microsoft Michel, to be honest. What up, guys? What's up, Will? Scott, do you think we'll be making any other moves before the season officially kicks off? So this is a great question here, and this is actually something I've been kind of alluding to, is that this kind of opens up the door for the Rams to make other moves. I know it sounds weird, right? But when we're constantly talking about, win now, win now, win now, and how I kind of shrug because I'm like, if you're not trying to win every season, what are you trying to do? This is very interesting because essentially I think if we are seeing good, in my opinion, Jake Funk and Xavier Jones looked good in week 2. And I think on top of that, their offensive line has looked pretty abysmal. So they are, in my opinion, exceeding expectations. And for the Rams to go out and make a trade, that says a lot about the offensive line that's not playing well. And I wouldn't be surprised if they keep 6 or 7 guys on the offensive line, leaving a ton of room in case of waivers. This is not a 53 that anybody can predict because this 53-man roster is not going to have everybody that was on the Rams roster during the preseason. We've already seen that firsthand with the Sony Michel trade. But furthermore, I think you're going to see a lot of waiver claims. Maybe not a ton, but maybe 2 or 3. I mean, if you really think about it, what has Coleman Shelton done to solidify his role on here? What has Bobby Evans done? What Chandler Brewer, I like him, but what has he done to solidify, to make sure he is on this Super Bowl roster? My point here is that you have your starting 5, Whitworth, Edwards, Allen, Corbett, and Havenstein. Then you have your 6th man in Joseph Noteboom, who's not going anywhere. He's not playing, and that tells me they really like him, and he could potentially be the left tackle of the future. Then you have Tremaine Ankrum, who I really like, who can play a little bit of everything. And because of Tremaine Ankrum's ability to play all 5 positions, and because Corbett was originally the center and they're using Allen, they technically have 3 centers. They don't need to keep Coleman Shelton. And because of their cross-training versatility and ability from having Coach Cromer coach them, they don't need to keep Evans. I'm not keeping Evans over keeping J.R. Reed or Juju Hughes. No way. I'm not keeping Evans over keeping Ernest Brown. I'm not keeping Evans over keeping Chris Garrett or Tristan Jackson or Bryson Hopkins. I'm not doing it. So, furthermore, I think 6 or 7 guys you're looking at for the Rams, likely 7, I think. The Rams will keep 7, and then they'll look in waivers. So don't be surprised if it's a 51 or 52-man roster, and they leave a lot of that room open in case other guys become an option. So that's what I'll say in that regard. Now, let me catch up here because I do tend to ramble on. That's just to answer your question, Scott. I do think that other moves are coming. I like the trade as well, Antonio. I always thought Marlon Mack was an option. Very interesting. Marlon Mack's coming off the same injury Cam Akers suffered. Maybe he would have been an option, but I definitely think the familiarity with Sony Michel. One, they saw him in the Super Bowl. He scored the game-sealing touchdown against the Rams in the Super Bowl. And then furthermore, just that familiarity with Thomas Brown. Now, keep in mind, it was 2015. Thomas Brown only had him for 1 year. The 1 year he had Sony Michel had the most touches in his career. And I'm talking NFL and college. The most touches, he had the most yards, and he had the biggest, as far as we're talking pass catching, he had the most usage in the passing game with Thomas Brown. So if that tells you anything, tells you that Thomas Brown likes this guy, he trusted this guy, and definitely signed off on this move. It makes a lot of sense if you're a Patriots fan joining and you're wondering, why did they do this? It makes a lot of sense. Ramondre Stevenson out of Oklahoma, they really like. When they drafted him, they had an idea. Sony Michel, who they didn't bring back on the 5th-year option, he was going to be a free agent. They weren't going to re-sign him. So they had a good idea when Ramondre Stevenson blew up in preseason. They had Damian Harris, who's really excelled as a running back, and they have James White, who they re-signed. They had a pretty good inclination that Sony Michel wasn't going to make this team, and so they wanted to get some value for him. The Rams are smart because I understand there are folks out there say, why would you trade for a guy that's clearly going to get cut? Because here's the thing. He was never going to get cut. The Patriots were easily going to be able to deal him because there are injuries. And when you wait this long into this close to the season, all of a sudden, the Patriots have more leverage. So the Rams need to do this now in case the Jaguars say, we're like, well, we don't really like Carlos Hyde that much. We'd like Sony Michel to go with James Robinson. We lost Travis Etienne. There's probably a boatload of injuries on the way. That is the way the NFL works. So to go out, get out in front of everybody else, make this trade, not be stuck in a competition, it was a smart idea for the Rams, and they didn't give up too much. So that's what I'll say on that. It'd be cool if we got KJ Wright and Austin Reeder also. I think Reeder got picked up. KJ Wright, I don't think the Rams need to sign KJ Wright. I have the Rams right now, and guys, I'll have my 53-man video later on this week, and then we'll do our watch party on Saturday, and then I will have my final 53 prediction, and then on top of that, as long as I don't have a job yet, I'm planning on doing a live stream for the cut down day. So we'll have a live stream, we'll update all the cuts, I'll break it all down, and that is my plan. So kind of a watch party with the Rams cuts, as morbid as that sounds. I don't think they need KJ Wright. I have them keeping 4 linebackers. Look, let's just be real here. Fuller, Rapp, Burgess, and Nick Scott, and you could argue J.R. Reed and Juju Hughes could all play a pseudo linebacker role, which because of that versatility means that you really don't have to keep a ton of linebackers. I look at Jake Gervais as a project that will probably be on the practice squad. I look at Christian Roseboom if he makes it and doesn't get picked up by, former linebacker coach Joe Barry over in Green Bay, which I think would make a lot of sense since they just cut Kamal Martin. If he doesn't get picked up, then the Rams could put him in the practice squad. But after that, I think Kaiser's going to miss the squad. I think they're going to keep 4. I think they'll keep Kenny Young. I think they'll keep Troy Reeder. They'll keep Traven Howard and Ernest Jones. And that'll be the linebacker group. I know it's crazy, but it's not a good sign, in my opinion, for Micah Kiser that he was playing in the third quarter in the second preseason game when you have Dante Dion, who is not even suiting up, and he's healthy. So I think that makes Dante Dion a lock unless he plays this weekend. So I'm feeling pretty good about my projections. I'm going to share them fully with you later on in the week. We'll do a video on it. And then I'm, again, going to have one last, crack at it. Maybe just update it a little bit right before the cut-down day. And then we'll have that live stream on the cut-down day. You don't want to miss it. All questions will be answered. We'll just make sure it's a big coverage type of deal. Okay, so what's up, Joe? How we doing? ADM, KMG. They're copying the Tampa Bay with Fournette in a sense, but not entirely. Yes, hit that like if you can. It really does help. Let's see. Where are we at right now? Oh, yeah, we got some good likes. So we got 87 people in here. Actually, I'm reading 96. I don't know which number it is. We got 37 likes. If everyone could like this, I'd really appreciate it. Really help push this out on YouTube. He's a beast. I hope his knee holds up. That's true. What's up, Ernesto? Yes, absolutely. I realized that when I was watching Jake Funk and Xavier Jones. They were running backs with shifty like Akers. Seems like he is our new Malcolm Brown third down bruiser, but quicker. That's true. Makes sense, though. You're on to something. Thank you. Thomas Brown was a factor as well, I believe, in terms of vouching for a player's personality. Absolutely. These 53-man roster cuts are going to be crazy since we have so much depth everywhere. Totally agree. Without injury, I think he's going to get more than 500, 600 yards. We'll see. I'm not really sure. I think, you can expect, how many carries do I have him getting? Let me pull that up right now. I have him getting 112 carries, but I think he could go up to, maybe 160, around that 170, averaging about 10 a game. How would y'all react if we ended up paying Michel? That would be interesting. If the Rams pay Michel, that means he would have had a really good season, first off. And secondly, that would also probably signal that Cam Akers had a setback. So we'll see. I don't expect them to pay Michel, which is the sad thing. If they win a Super Bowl, Michel's a big part in that. It's kind of like bye-bye, and it's going to be hard to do that, but, that's kind of what you sign up for. And trust me, I know. I'm a Yankee fan, so, seeing rentals, trading for rentals is not out of the question, especially with baseball. So I'm used to liking guys that the Yankees trade, and then they don't bring back the next year. That's the hardest part, I think, of rentals. When you start to fall for them, you really like them, and then they just get shipped out. It's the name of the business, so to speak. Seems like he is our new third down bruiser, but quicker. Okay, let's see. Oh, awesome, YouTube. We love when you do that. Trying to read everyone's comments and then just scroll up. I'm going to cry if we trade Hekker away. I do think they're going to trade Hekker away. I think he'll end up going to the Cowboys. Love him too. Let's go Rams. Absolutely, James. The conditional picks was Ed, but we ended up giving was fire. You're the GOAT, Jake. Thank you so much, Connor. I appreciate you. Jake, that dude with 88 people. Hey, we're trying. Bam, copyright strike. Hit the like button, everyone. Yes, please. JE Live is the place to be. Thank you. I overslept, got to work, opened my phone. I was hours late to the Sony Michel trade. Well, Scott, hopefully I had you covered with that video, but if not, hopefully I have you covered now. Let's see here. Hit that like button, people. Yes, please. Like the video, guys and gals. Yes, thank you. Sparkling Ice is a Mount Rushmore beverage. Yes, it has replaced, for those of you, my OG followers from when I first started live streaming. If you guys remember when I was in my studio and I constantly had the ginger ale, I had the Canada Dry. It became a meme. Well, guys, I think I have more consistency with this than I ever did with Canada Dry. It just hasn't become a meme. What up, people? What's up, Nolan? How we doing? So who do you think will be RB1 week 1, Hendo or Sony? I think it's going to be Hendo. I think it'll be clearly Hendo, but I do think that Sony Michel is going to have a decent role. Again, bigger than a backup. I think it's going to be kind of a separate thing where Cam Akers would have been the starter, and Hendo would have had a similar role to what Sony Michel will have this year, if that makes sense. Scott, with the signing of Michel, does this mean that Xavier Jones or Jake Funk are at risk of getting cut? Will their Week 3 preseason game determine who gets kept? I don't see it. Those are more long-term investments, in my opinion. They've got, control with those guys for the next 2 to 3 years, and they're super cheap, so I don't see that happening. Jake Shavink, how we doing? What's up? Ram Fan Ashton got to be Hendo because he knows the playbook more right now. Absolutely. How will Jones and Funk be affected with the Rams acquiring Michel? I honestly, I'm not going to lie. If Sony Michel stays healthy, you're not going to see much of Jake Funk or Xavier Jones at all. Because I think those two, Hendo and Sony Michel, can pretty much have the majority of the carries and, run with that. So I will say that. But that's a great question, Philip. Julio, Tutu has the speed, but I worry about undersized hit that he will take. I hear you there. And I was a little concerned about his his durability, with the preseason game. He got banged up a little bit. I think Sony Michel was with that one dude that went out with injury. That was a running back. Can't remember his name. With that one dude, I'm not really sure who you're recalling, Rob. I wish I did. Otis Anderson is guaranteed to get cut. Yeah, unfortunately for him, I do see that. What's up, Dominic? Can't wait to smack the Bears in the mouth. Week 1, I hope we put up 50. I actually really like Sony Michel. I bet he puts up double-digit touchdowns this year. Do you think Tutu will be the return man? I think Tutu Atwell is going to be the punt returner, but don't be surprised if this weekend they operate with Tutu Atwell as a kick returner and see if he can do that. If he could do both, that's getting a huge value out of your second-round pick who you've drafted for the long term. You've drafted to take over the Deshaun Jackson role. And at the same time, while he's waiting, he's able to contribute in other ways. So I do like that. Hopefully they go with that route. Wait, Microsoft Michel was available. How many yards do you think Sony will have this year? Sony Michel, I have 582 rushing yards. It's on the ticker below right now. 168 receiving yards. So close to, if not, around 700 total yards, which I think is fine. Hey, Jake, do you think we see Sony Michel in our last preseason game? It's a great question, Joe, and it's something that I've been pondering myself. I know Sean McVay doesn't typically play veterans, and I understand they put some draft capital in this, so you don't want to see him get hurt. But at the same time, you'd like to see him get acclimated before the first game. If not, it wouldn't be the first time the Rams did this. Go back to the Rams in St. Louis in 2010. The Rams decided to go out and make a trade for a disgruntled wide receiver with the Baltimore Ravens in Mark Clayton. The reason they made that trade is, one, they looked at the receiver room. They didn't think they had enough for week 1. And 2, Sam Bradford knew Mark Clayton. They actually had that familiarity, being both guys from Oklahoma. So it made it easier for Sam Bradford, and unfortunately Clayton got hurt during the season, but ended up being a really good trade and an underrated and not really talked about trade in a season where they had a shot to go to the playoffs in the final game of the year, falling 7-9 against Charlie Whitehurst and the Seahawks in the final game of the year. Now, that is the last time they had a trade where they didn't actually put a guy in preseason. It was just right week 1. This is the guy. They had Mark Clayton out there, and he was already starting. So they might make it a little easy on Sony Michel early on, but I think they'll acclimate him a bit. And really, a lot of this, I think people are focusing way too much on how bad this makes Hendo look. I think this is to make Hendo last. I think this is to maximize Darrell Henderson. And if they're worried about his, injury history, his durability, what have you, this is going to keep him healthy. When you have Sony Michel taking 112 carries, that is going to be good for Darrell Henderson. It's going to take the load off because Darrell Henderson is going to have close to 200 carries. He may not have 200, but touches-wise, he's going to have over 200 touches. That's going to happen. So they're trying to keep that managed. And furthermore, if Sony doesn't take on, say he only takes on 112, like I'm saying, they still have Jake Funk and they still have Xavier Jones. they want to make Darrell Henderson work. They love what Darrell Henderson can do. And when he's healthy, he was the most productive and the most efficient running back in the Rams room last season. Through week 8, PFF rated him as the #1 running back. That's hard to do. How do you do that? It's very simple. You have to work in all phases. This guy can run, this guy can catch, and this guy can block. And that's a thing for a smaller statured type of guy. People don't give Henderson enough credit. He's a willing blocker. He's going to take on and absorb the contact, and he's going to give you time as a passer. And that is something that's going to keep him on the field, as well as Sony Michel, solid in pass pro. If you're solid in pass pro, like I always say, Sean McVay's receivers, if you can't block, you're not playing receiver for Sean McVay. Well, it's kind of the same thing with the running backs, but this is anywhere you go. If you can't block, you are not getting on the field. Not consistently anyway. So Michel and Hendo can both block. That's a good sign moving forward. Okay, shout to Ankrum, future RT for us. I agree. I really love Ankrum. Send this streams. We almost at 88. We're now at 105, baby. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sneed is watching the waivers for sure. I agree with that, Nolan. Sony Michel also made some plays this preseason. Yes, I did notice that. We'll see if he's used it all in preseason game 3. I believe Les Snead has more moves up his sleeve, whether it's trade or free agency. I think so too. You know, we've seen it in the past. Look how easy it was to go out and get Austin Corbett. He's been huge for their offensive line. And I mean, just you want to look at the Browns doing that. The Browns also did the same type of trade with the Bills, and now he's one of the best offensive linemen in football. I mentioned him a couple times on this channel, Wyatt Teller out of Virginia Tech. This is somebody that, you know, flashed a little bit at the Senior Bowl. I believe was a 5th-round pick by Buffalo. They gave up on him in like 2 seconds. He goes to the Browns, and now he is one of the top all-time, in the league. All of the guys, he's one of the top offensive linemen in football. So you can find talent anywhere. Someone else's trash can become your treasure, and we've seen that, and Les Snead does a great job of breaking that down, finding those guys, finding guys that will work very well in the system, finding guys that will work well for what they need. Think about Kenny Young, for instance. I may not be the highest person on Kenny Young, but I respect Kenny Young, first off, and secondly, they got him as a, keep in mind, they don't have a ton of cap space, so they really had to make this trade work because they were going to get Jalen Ramsey. When they trade away Marcus Peters, they were able to get a guy that they had a few years of control under. And what I mean by control is that he is on the books on a cheap rookie deal. So they've had Kenny Young now because of that trade with Marcus Peters. Kenny Young was a, quote-unquote throw-in. Well, because of that, the Rams have had a cheap option at linebacker, and it's made things easier for them. Just like Austin Corbett, getting him on a rookie deal. That's huge. And that's the thing Les Snead continues to do. And he does it well. Hit the like button. Yes, please. Thank you, Nolan. I've been seeing some people talking about Sony Michel has bad knees. Any concern there? What I'll say is this. You have him for 1 year. If you have any concern about his knees long term, that's fine. But then just don't sign him. And I think that's the thing. That's what they're looking at. But furthermore, let's talk about the last time we saw Sony Michel in the regular season. He was starting. Damian Harris went down, who is actually the starting back there. Guy I like a lot. Saw him a lot at Alabama. Liked him a lot in the draft. And I like him a lot right now. But Sony Michel, we do not get enough credit for. We do not give enough credit to because he ended the season on a high note. Furthermore, he ran 5.7 yards per carry. And if you're doing the math, that would have been his best season by far if he got a normal workload. He missed a lot of those games. He's missed 10 games in his career. Most of them came last year. So we got to give him a little bit of a break there. Bad injury happens, right? I wouldn't necessarily call him injury prone. And also, I don't think he's lost a ton of explosiveness. He also doesn't have the long speed. Like I've always said, Cam Akers ran a 4.49. But I don't feel like Cam Akers runs a 4.49. That's why I think him and Michel are kind of similar. Whereas I feel like Henderson is going to go the distance. Henderson has shown you he can house it. I don't think, Michel can really do that. But you're not, going out there, you're not getting Akers to do that. And you're not getting Michel to do that. So, that's what I would say there. Wow, 114. Love to see it. Love to see it. appreciate you guys. I mean, what, we've only been streaming for 36 minutes, almost have 1,000 views. Not bad. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to answer all these questions. I've been seeing some people talking about... Okay, I answered that. Look at how he runs. Very similar style to Le'Veon Bell. Has a lot of patience for lanes to open up. Great pickup. Yeah, he creates yards. It's great. Man average 5.68 per carry last year, second in the league. Does Bronte Harris make the 53? I think Bronte Harris is going to be a practice squad candidate, unfortunately. If they didn't have Dante Dion, like if they had him playing, I think Bronte Harris might have a shot, but I just don't see them keeping 6 corners. I think 5 is going to do it, and I think, honestly, they would have kept 4 if not Dante Dion. If Dante Dion plays this weekend, I'm going to have to change everything. But if he doesn't, then that tells me, and he's healthy, that tells me he's a lock to make the roster. Like the stream, thank you so much, ADM. Thumbs up, thumbs way up, folks. Thank you, Substance. Austin Reeder is still a free agent, from what I can tell. Is he? I totally thought he got picked up. I don't know why. Is our O-line a major concern? I think it is. I don't think it's a major concern. I think you have some really good things there. You have some things that you can work with. I like their offensive line, their starting offensive line. I understand not everyone wants to give Brian Allen a shot, and I don't necessarily disagree with you. But at the same time, I kind of understand where the Rams are coming from. This is a guy they got in 2018 in the 4th round. And then in 2019, he became a starter. He got hurt. And then, he showed some signs of, flashing. Of course, he had some bad things, but, he had some good things as well. 2020, basically, he was a redshirt. He got hurt, and he had COVID. So now he shows up to camp. He's bigger than, he's noticeably bigger. He's noticeably stronger, and they're seeing that. And I'm going to trust the coaches on this one because I haven't seen him in person. I'm going to trust them that maybe they have a gem there. And it took him a little bit, late bloomer, but here he is in 2021. And he's going to have a good year. And if not, they have Corbett, and like I said, they have Tremaine Ankrum, who can also play center, and let's just call it like it is, Whitworth was joking. If he had to slide into guard or he had to slide into center, he would. So keep that in mind. I think they feel good about the overall depth that they have, or rather the versatility they have. So I think, with some of those guys, not with everyone. And so I think with Ankrum and with Noteboom, with their 5, that would leave 7. I think they're going to leave 7. I think they're going to cut Evans. I think they're going to cut Coleman Shelton. I think they're going to try to get Jordan Meredith and Alaric Jackson on the practice squad. And then I think they're going to test waivers and maybe even look to try to acquire somebody outside of the building, like, via trade. Maybe try and see, what you can get for a former first-round pick and Andre Dillard, from the Eagles. I think that there are options here, and I think, they'll explore those options. I have no doubt that they will. Let's see. Only in terms of how thin they are. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Oh, awesome, YouTube. Thank you so much. Was just reading that. You scrolled up while I was reading it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Just got here, but Hendo and Michel could go crazy. I do agree with that. What do you think going to happen with Hekker? I think Hecker's going to get traded to the Cowboys, and I think Corey Bojorquez has made the team. I know they haven't said it yet. I do think Bojorquez made the team. It's a lot of it comes down to it, right? You have the how the price, of course, for Johnny Hekker. Johnny Hekker has, I don't want to say struggled, but for Johnny Hecker's standards, he's gone downhill a little bit. Corey Bojorquez had the longest punt last year, tied for the longest punt, and on top of that, he had the highest average for a punter. He's one of the best punters in the league. So it was weird when they signed him, but it actually makes a lot of sense now. And with COVID, that might have honestly sealed it. I'm not going to get too much into vaccinations and things like that, but you know where I'm going with that. I do feel like that might have sealed it personally, but I don't know for sure. Smash that like button. Yes, thank you, Jake. Appreciate you. What do you think okay, I said that. Sup, Nolan? Hope you doing good, my dude. Yeah, what's up, Nolan? Fournette should be grateful to be in that backfield. IMO, he's trash. I disagree. I think Fournette's actually really underrated. The biggest issue coming out of LSU is that, he wasn't the greatest pass catcher, but I think he's definitely improved. And it's definitely, an underrated, factor into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think he was super helpful in the Super Bowl. He really came out to play. So I do have to give him credit there. If the Rams pay Michel, that means the season will have looked like what Gurley and Anderson did in the playoffs. Kind of, yeah. Wait, Hekker? Yeah, Hekker. Why would we trade Hekker if he's the GOAT? Well, Hekker, we love Hekker, right? Obviously, he's a fan favorite. But if you look to Hekker standards, Hekker has not been Hekker the last 2 years. He's still really good. He's still one of the best. But if you remember, Hekker was by far the best. And they're paying him to be by far the best. That is what has happened with his contract. He has priced himself up here, but he's probably right here. Which, again, still one of the top. But you don't want to pay him top dollar if he's not the top anymore. If he's around the top, you know. So that's the thought process there. It's just different with punters. When you get in a $5-6 million a year range, that's a lot of money to spend on a punter. A lot. Okay. So let's see. You did have me covered with the Sony Michel video. I said, of course, Jake already got the content out. Yeah, I woke up and it's weird. I could barely sleep last night. I watched Taxi Driver. Great movie, by the way. And then I couldn't sleep, so I watched, another horror movie. Well, Taxi Driver isn't a horror movie, but you get it. And then for whatever reason, even though I barely had any sleep, I woke up right when the Sony Michel trade happened. I guess I have Rams radar, and I made a video. And if YouTube didn't take so long to process said video, I would have had it out sooner. But I think it worked out well, so I'm not going to complain. And the video is doing very well. It's one of the best videos I've put out in quite some time as far as analytics is concerned. Digging the Sony trade, actually. Ginger Ale King reigning supreme still. What's up with our O-line? I'm hearing they taken a step back. I wouldn't say necessarily a step back. I mean, I'm just, based on what I've seen in preseason, you haven't seen the starters, but the backups. I haven't been a big fan of Bobby Evans. And I think the only ones that I can firmly feel confident in are Noteboom and Tremaine Ankrum to be those, 6 and 7 guys, and then keeping, an 8th and a 9th spot potentially open for waivers. Jake the Snake, yeah, I've been called that before. I feel like writing is on the wall for Hekker. Yeah, same. You see the new episode of What If? Yeah, I did. I think it's the worst one, but I do like the concept of it. I can't wait for next week. Probably because Hekker costs like 4 times more than Corey. That too. I love Hekker, but Bajorquez looks really nice. Agreed. What's up? How we doing, Rams 12th man? We got 93 views. Let's go. Just kidding. We have 139 now. That's how behind I am on these comments. But I promise I'm not going to miss out on all the comments, no matter how many times YouTube tries to screw me over on that. Been high on Sony since Georgia Days. Glad to see him in LA. Hollywood Jake is at 98 viewers, 98 people. Hit the like button. Would love to see Fuller start at strong safety, Burgess at free. I think Rapp fits better as hybrid linebacker role. How do you feel? Corey, I think you're kind of, right around where I feel, Now, I know Burgess is probably going to play strong, and I think Fuller's going to play free, but I agree with you. I think Rapp as the pseudo linebacker makes a lot of sense, as well as Nick Scott, rotating there. I want to see more Nick Scott this year. As long as he stays healthy, Nick Scott can play in this league. And furthermore, I've been really, really impressed with the safety tandem that I don't know if they're going to make the roster, both of them. I think one of them will. J.R. Reed and Juju Hughes have looked like a man amongst boys, or rather men amongst boys. They have absolutely balled out during the preseason so far, so I definitely want to see more of them. Raymond Calais, that's the guy. I couldn't remember his name. Oh, yeah, sorry. All 105 views better hit the like right now. Keep running this like button up. Sup fam, I'm late to the party. What's up, Ryan? Everybody get this to 100 likes. Appreciate you guys. We're at 78. We're getting there. We have 130 viewers right now. If everybody could hit the like button, it's the thumbs up. I got 79 right now. Damn, Mark Clayton, that's bringing back memories. Well, you know how I am. I like to throw some old knowledge. Like when I was explaining that, normally when guys like Raymond Calais go on IR, the unwritten rule is that teams don't pick up guys that go on IR like that. But, the Patriots did that with Tyler Gaffney with Carolina Panthers. I bring up those little tidbits every now and then because that's just random stuff I have up here in my noggin. It probably makes me weirder than, the normal person, but it is what it is. Like the vid if you're ready for Rams football. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, if you like Rams football, if you're ready for football season in general, like this video, would really help me out. Didn't they do the same thing with Watkins? They honestly kind of did. Now, he never played a preseason game. I think they did week 2 of preseason. They traded EJ Gaines and a second-round pick for Sammy Watkins. Sadly, I remember this vividly because I was at a funeral, and I remember walking back from the funeral to my car and reading that, and I didn't know how to feel because I honestly have never been that high on Sammy Watkins. But then I talked myself into it, and then sure enough, I think Watkins helped to an extent, but you got the full extent of what he was supposed to do in that offense when Brandon Cooks came to town, and they almost had, 3,000-yard receivers, and they would have if not for the injuries. Let's see. What's up, Rams House? How we doing? Good support, ADM Swift. Yes, everyone smack that like button. It's like a grade school bully. Let's get 100 likes, people. What's up, Holden? How we doing? How's everyone doing? Henderson is very underrated. I agree with that. What's good, Jake? What's up, Raptor? Let's see. Jake, that Spider-Man trailer. Oh, Nick, I'm so sorry. I thought earlier you were in the JE Live earlier in the day, and I thought I already responded to you, thinly. But yeah, the trailer looks awesome. I cannot freaking wait for that movie, and we're going to have to do something special for this channel when you have those movies come out, because, I mean, that is so highly anticipated. I'm going to have to do a video, and I'm going to have to put spoiler warnings all over the place, so if you don't want to get spoiled with the Spider-Man movie, but we might have to have a stream specifically discussing it, because I think it's going to be absolutely insane. Yeah, the chat is booming. Hit up the thumbs up. Marvel's What If Episode 4, what if Todd Gurley never got hurt? Yeah, well, I mean, well, that would be amazing if he never got hurt. What's the like button if I'm on YouTube app? It's the thumbs up. Let's see. I don't know how it looks, actually. Yeah, I think it's just the thumbs up button. Let's see. 117 watching, only 65 likes. The math ain't adding up like the stream. Thoughts on the punter battle going on right now? I do think it's going to be Bajorquez that ends up winning. I know in Holden's 53-man roster you can go find on turfshowtimes.com. He does great work over there, as well as Kenneth Arthur, who is the managing editor. They are friends of ours, so, shout out to them. You can find it on downtownrams.com as well, and I think we both are kind of in an agreement where Corey Bajorquez will end up winning that job. What's up, LA Rams? How we doing? Let's see here. Bills also gave up on Robert Woods. Yes, that's true. That was like the best deal ever. Getting a 24-year-old receiver that can block, that can make plays after the catch, that can run routes as well as him, and have the hands that he has in Robert Woods in more of a run-heavy offense, to get him at $8 million a year, a 24-year-old receiver coming off his rookie deal, and you get him at $8 million a year, and people thought that was overpriced. Oh my God, that was one of the best signings. I remember when that happened. I was at my 2 jobs ago, and I just was jumping up and down with excitement. Robert Woods has been a favorite of mine since he came out of USC. So when the Rams got him, I was like, McVay gets it, man. This is a great signing. Then they got Whitworth, and you guys know what happened next. So yeah, they should bring in Lamont Gallard. He's all right. I think he's kind of just a guy. I don't know if he's that much better than what they have that they're working with, but I hear you there. If you close the chat, it'll give you the option of liking. Okay, so that's it. So you can't like the video when you have the chat open, but when you close it, you can thumbs it up, and then you can open the chat back up. I did not know that, so appreciate you letting me know that. Let's see. Looks good. Okay. Yo, what's up, Holden? Big shout out to one Facebook viewer. You're my hero. 5.7 yards per carry with Patriots taking a step back. Marvel's What If Episode 5, Jake Funk becoming a halfback. 4.2 yards after contact per carry when running outside zone man, which we ran 69% of the time in 2020. That is a great stat pull, Scott. That is insane. Look at that view count. Yes, I love it. Being over 100. Having the triple digits, just it hits differently. I don't know. Jake with Calais hurt. Who do you want returning kicks? I'm hoping they can get Tutu rocking. If they can get Tutu, that would be nice. I think an underrated guy that may not be brought up enough is Robert Rochelle. Obviously, that supreme athleticism, and then his ability after the catch, because he's taking interceptions back and everything. He might be an interesting option as well. This is insane. Okay, let's see. Chicago's in deep trouble. Any thoughts on Colts or Bucks game? The Colts game, here's the thing. I think Carson Wentz is going to have a good season. I've said this. There's a video on this channel that actually got me a few Colts fans that regularly tune in, including Dabney, who I've always mentioned on here. I think Carson Wentz is going to have a really good year. So that Week 2 matchup could be interesting. However, if we look at history, the Rams kicked the crap out of the Colts notoriously. The last time they played, the Rams won 44-6. Now, albeit Scott Tolzien was the quarterback that game because Luck was out, but they still dominated. This will be in Indy, so it might be a little bit different, but I still, I think the Rams are going to win that. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, I have the Rams winning. I think the Rams are a better team than Tampa. I think they were a better team last year. Personally, they proved it. They went to their home without Cooper Kupp, and they beat them. Actually, no, I think they did have Cooper Kupp, but they still beat them, And I think furthermore, this team's better. This team's better than they were last year, and you lose to John Johnson, but you add Matthew Stafford, and you lose you lose some players like Troy Hill, but then you add Deshaun Jackson. I think they, in a weird way, kind of matched it, but also made themselves better in the process. So, that's what I would say. I think they're both. I would not be surprised if they go 3-0, 4-0, whatever, because I have them going 15-2, and I'm very, very confident in that. That's not homerism. I would be honest with you if I didn't feel like they were going to, have a great year. I've been watching Stafford for years, guys. He's been one of my absolute favorite players in sports, and just seeing what he's done with the Lions, and albeit it was not the best case there, but the fact that he always kept himself, even keel, never got too high, never got too low. That's what I like about him. He doesn't have those highs, those super highs, those super lows. He's always constant. He's a leader by example, and he's clutch as all hell. So when you look at a team that barely is losing at halftime. And what I mean by that is Sean McVay is literally 37-0 when leading at halftime. That was with Jared Goff. And now you have Matthew Stafford. You have to feel good about the fact they barely are leading. They barely are losing at halftime as it is. Stafford basically did all of what he did coming from behind. So with a lead, I mean, the sky's the limit, so to speak. Let's see here. Okay, trying to hit the like button. You guys are awesome at the like button. How many yards, touchdowns do you think Jacob Harris has this year? That's interesting. I think he's going to have around 300 yards, maybe 3 to 6 touchdowns, depending on his usage in the red zone. But I think he's going to mainly be a red zone threat, a designated red zone threat. That's kind of what I see out of Jacob Harris. I feel like people are worried about the line more than they should. I agree with you there. That O-line better act right. Even if our O-line is just average, that's a big improvement for Matthew Stafford, who's been behind garbage O-lines for the better part of a decade. Jay streamed to the moon, baby. Thanks, Ryan. What's up, everybody? What's up, LA Rams? But I think it'll be good this year, better than average. Oh, my God. So annoying. Why does YouTube do this? I was catching up and everything. And it is what it is. Yo, Sean McVay in here. That is actually really funny. I bet Jake's stream hit 1K during the real games this year. That'll be awesome. I hope it happens. I feel like it will, and I feel like we're growing. We're getting bigger. It's pretty awesome. I've been, love watching this growth and interacting with you guys and building these relationships. So, and if you guys, want to continue talking about this after the stream, be sure you can find it in the link in the description. Be sure to join the Discord channel. We have close to 300 people. I want to get to 300 before the season starts, and then the sky is truly the limit. But yeah, definitely recommend that. That's where a lot of us interact there. Man, how did Goff play that poorly behind a top 5 O-line last year? Sign me. I played center in Pee Wee. Got to get a trio with Payo Time and Brent from Rams Talk for a mega stream. That would be fun. Also Rams House, by the way. There were a lot of inconsistency with injuries, the Rams running back, but that's no excuse for Goff. Lil Nas X said, nah, he tweaking about Tony Hawk new skateboard. What? 2 questions. If Sherman is still free for any team, if so, what team is he going to? In fantasy, if you have to choose Henry, Cook, Kamara, and McCaffrey, who are you taking? I'm probably choosing Alvin Kamara because I do think Kamara is going to be used a ton. If it's PPR, I think he's going to be used a ton. I don't worry about him as much as I worry about McCaffrey with the injuries. Derrick Henry in a regular, standard league, no points per reception, Derrick Henry all day. He gets the usage. He's going to be near 400 touches a season. That's the guy. But if it's PPR, I'm going with Kamara. And I do think Dalvin Cook is probably number 2 for me. Christian McCaffrey really scared me last year. He had a bunch of those small injuries that lingered. And that stuff keeps coming back to you. So I'm hoping he stays healthy. But personally, I'm not touching him with the 10-foot pole. I know I'm probably different than most of you, but I've picked number 1, and I've picked Derrick Henry, Kamara, I've picked Dalvin Cook. I will not pick Christian McCaffrey. Now, whether I'm wrong or not, that's kind of how I am right now because I am worried about those injuries. They absolutely destroyed me last year. I got McCaffrey in a lot of leagues, and it killed me. Hekker is such a legendary Ram, though. That's true. Why is Hekker? Everyone's saying Hekker going to be traded. Well, you have the former special teams coordinator, in Dallas, and you have the former long snapper, and you have the former kicker in Dallas, all for the Rams. And, that I think you can kind of connect the dots that they're slowly but surely taking over. And yeah, you don't keep 2 kickers or punters. And Johnny Hicker's too good to just cut, so I think they're going to try to get something for him. I don't want to leave Hekker. I got his jersey too. Oh, that's a bummer. I've met his parents. I've actually hung out with his parents after games. They're really nice, so it is sad. You'd like to see him retire a Ram, but at the same time, it's a business, and there have been guys like James Laurinaitis didn't get to retire a Ram. Chris Long didn't get to retire a Ram. Steven frickin' Jackson didn't retire a Ram. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. I mean, no one really ever retires a Ram. So no one really ever retires with the same team in the NFL. So, I mean, it sucks. But, even Steve Smith didn't stay with Carolina, So there's all sorts of names. That's the best way I could put that. If the Rams do trade Hekker, what would the Rams get in return? I think a high is a 5th-round pick, maybe a 4th, probably a 5th. I think that would probably be a good gauge. He is expensive, though, so that depends. Since Corey is doing great and is young, plus Hekker is worth a lot of money, that's true. Jake, what do you think we'll get back for Hekker? Probably around a 5th. Imagine if Bajorquez ended up being trash. Well, that would suck. I know this isn't a fantasy channel, but if Hendo is number 1 and Michel's number 2, is that Xavier Jones? Oh, is Michel the number 2, or is that Xavier Jones? Michel will be the number 2. And no worries, Eric. This isn't Ask Me Anything. So if you guys do have question about fantasy football, this is also like a football channel. I always say 75% Rams and 25% everything else. And that includes MCU, that includes horror movies, that includes fantasy football, basketball, baseball. I mean it. When I say ask me anything, literally the door is open for you guys to ask me anything. Xavier, Jake Funk, 3rd string. Yeah, I would agree. You think Bryce Perkins has a chance at QB2? No, not this year, but maybe next year. I think that they're definitely going to keep. I'm very, very confident they're going to end up keeping 3 quarterbacks now. I think he's done enough that he's just not going to be able to come back and make it through waivers. Yeah, 131, not bad at all. Now we're at 134. Hekker is a dude, perfect video, therefore is better than everyone else. Jake, did you watch the horror movie I recommended in the Discord yet? I love your thoughts. I have not yet. What was it? VHS? I don't remember what it was called. I figured you'd be interested since you never heard of it. Yeah, I am interested. I got a big, long list, though, so it is on the list. Honestly, we should do what the Saints do. Breeze for throws and maybe throw in Perkins for runs. Perkins, I was hearing, could be used in the Taysom Hill type of role. So that is also the thing. He adds, this versatility and this level of ability that no one else at the position is going to have. Wolford can move. Wolford can run, and Wolford is mobile. But if you saw those two running in a straight line, 40 yards, racing against each other, Perkins would win pretty easily. He ran a 4.5 at his pro day, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's see here. I found out about Sony Michel trade at school, and he picks players traded. Just next year's 6th round pick, and the year after that, it's 4th round pick. No players, no. When was the last time we were impressed by O-line play in preseason? That's true. I can't remember what game it was, but Bobby Evans looked pretty decent at guard next to Whitworth last season. He had his moments, but for the most part, Bobby Evans has looked a lot worse than he has, good. I still remember Bobby Evans' first NFL game he started versus Khalil Mack and schooled him. Would not say he schooled him. He had a lot of help from Tyler Higbee, chipping him, and Mack did get in on a few of those plays. He didn't allow a sack, but, Evans did well for his first time out there, but I wouldn't say he schooled him. Going to the Broncos game, and I am very excited. That's awesome. An abundance of riches at safety for sure. That is very true. Hopefully Rams making teams punt instead of punting this year. That's also true. I'm counting on Bobby Evans to stay up with top-notch blocking. I don't really see that. Brandon Barnes, what's up? How we doing? Don, not liking our kickoff and punt returner. Don't want to see Tutu Atwell get killed during punts and kickoffs. This is a huge concern of mine. I get that. What's up, JK? This is our year. Horns up. What's up, one Cali Ram? You think Terrell Lewis gets cut? I don't, but I do know that Holden does. So you'd have to ask Holden about that. Would I cut Terrell Lewis? That I'm not really sure if I'd be a little bit on the fence because I still think he deserves another year. It's not like Evans. Evans has been here since 2019. He'd be 2020. Evans has had time since. So the biggest issue is Evans playing horribly against 3rd and 4th string guys in the 4th quarter of a preseason game. That still pains me. It almost makes me throw away everything he's ever done in the NFL, good, bad, whatever. Just makes me focus on that moment and realizing, you know what? He's been horrible in preseason. That's not good. Like, it's one thing if, okay, you're against the starters, you don't look that great, fine. He doesn't look that great against the starters anyway. But when you're playing against 3rd and 4th string guys and you're getting bodied, that's not a good sign. That was a big wake-up call for me. That shattered the glass, and I'm out on Bobby Evans. I've said it. They can keep him all they want. I'm out on him until he proves otherwise. James Hill, what's up? How we doing? King Easy, what's up? How we doing? Henry, I think Harris took Bryson Hopkins' spot, and Chris Garrett took Terrell Lewis' spot. That's interesting. People don't give Woods the appreciation he deserves. Been on the Woods train the whole time. Agree with that, Rams House. Correct. Once you click the thumbs up button, should turn black or enlarge. Only hit once. Gotcha. I think Dante Dion can be a candidate for returning kicks and punts. That's true. Thanks for the shout-out, Jake. Everyone at Turf Show Times loves Downtown Rams, and vice versa. Everyone at Downtown Rams loves Turf Show Times. You guys do great work. Always, game recognized game over here. Scott, I'm going to that Week 2 game against the Colts. I've seen a lot of Midwest Rams fans buying tickets to that game. Oh, that should be a lot of fun. You're definitely going to enjoy that one. I think I might fly out to New York for the Rams-Giants game because it's the same week as my mom's birthday. And Connor, I'll actually be out there, so if you want to meet up, definitely let me know when you're out there. Great take. Thank you. 141, do you stream during games? I stream during preseason games. I have a little bit of a, crazy, ritual where I'm kind of all around my family and my closest friends, and I watch the games, with them. It's, that sacred time of year, but I am going to try to do some watch parties during, the actual regular season games. We'll see how many I can do. But I definitely want to do some this year. Definitely going to be doing this preseason game upcoming. And I'm going to be doing a stream after every game and before every game. So keep that in mind as well. Let's hit 100 likes. We got, I think it's over 100. I can't really tell because all of a sudden, okay, it is exactly 100. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. I think you will have 5K viewers per stream during games, especially if you have streams during postseason games. That's true. So will you, Rams House. Finally join the Discord, LOL. Lot going on. Oh, yeah. Welcome, Jake. I hate how the Cowboys are taking all our special teams. I don't really mind it. I think it's cool they're all together. Aaron Donald better retire a Ram, though. I'm not going to guarantee he does, but I'm not going to guarantee he doesn't. I know the business can be very cutthroat, no matter what you do. Oh my God, we finna get a 6th-round pick for Hekker. Aaron Donald needs to retire a Ram. Anyway, too early draft prospects have your eye. Unfortunately, Connor, at this point, I haven't looked at any prospects, so to speak. I know a few names, but I have not been focusing on that. I've been focusing on, the here and now with the Rams and trying to make sure I get the best content out to you guys. I try to get into the draft early, but it never happens. I really get into the draft towards November, December area. So, you'd probably be best to ask me then, and then I'll be able to kind of give you more. No, the mic isn't synced anymore. Oh, that's bummer. Let's see. Is it hard for you to watch the Rams preseason games? There's literally 4 guys playing who might get meaningful playing time. No, I enjoy it. I love it. And, the watch party, the only hard part of the watch party was that the game wasn't on early on in the game. And a lot of people know when they turned that off, I was pissed. So that was a little annoying. But just having everyone around and, talking, interacting with these people, all of you guys, during the game and being able to do play-by-play, it's actually a lot of fun. So I don't have any issue with it. I love it. I'm a kid in a candy store when it comes to anytime I see horns on the screen. So that's the best way I could put that. We talked about some wild stuff before. That's true. The horror movie I recommend was Pin. Okay. I don't know why I thought VHS. That's weird. Maybe I saw it last night and I didn't realize. I don't know. Thoughts on trading Okoronkwo to the Jets? I know they needed pass rushing help after loss and injury. Chris Garrett is looking promising enough to have a spot in the 53. I don't see it because they haven't really used him. Okoronkwo hasn't played any preseason, so I think that's somebody that they, are locking up, and he's going to play this year in a rotation role with Hollins leading the way on that side of, the line. Hekker's a fake kick god, though. Hekker's honestly the best holder in the NFL. We probably wouldn't have gone to the Super Bowl if he didn't handle the bad snap on the game-winning field goal so well. It's a good point. Watching the preseason games is worth it just to see Jacob Harris get the ball. That's funny. Let's see. Do you think we should sign KJ Wright? I don't. I don't think it's necessary, but if they did, I wouldn't cry about it. Any chance the Rams sign Sony after the season? Having a 3-headed monster wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't see it, but if they did and he earned it, had a good year, I wouldn't complain. Isn't Bobby Evans a better tackle than guard? I don't know. The coaching staff doesn't even want to use him at tackle, even in the preseason, so I'm not really sure about that. I knew Chris Garrett was a stud, made a video after the draft. Yeah, I could tell he was going to be a stud. There's a lot of playing that needs to be done, but so far so good. I would say Hendo and Michel are the Walmart, Dalvin Cook, and Leonard Fournette. That's interesting. Love that video. Is Sony Michel a good move? I do think so. New sub. Thank you so much, Faith Family Football. Shout out to the 140 in the chat. Like the stream, y'all. 100 likes. W. Thank you. I'll be in Houston for the Halloween game. Welcome, bro. W. Thanks, Will Corella. Not doing a stream during games in the regular season. I love watching with my family. I agree with you there. It is so much fun to watch with family. I need a watch party for at least one of the Rams 49ers games. We need to beat the hell out of them this year. 104, let's keep it going. Everyone feel free to join the Discord if you have a Discord. Agree with Rams house football with the family. Sunday is like a holiday. Absolutely. Rams versus Ravens is a game people should be looking out for. That will end up being the best game this season. That's interesting. What positions for 2022 draft prospects we talking? Yeah, Jake might know more about that. I would definitely ask Jake about that. Jake Shavink, not me. Jack Youngblood played his entire career as a Ram legend. Yes, and so did Jackie Slater as well. Jake, I got tickets to the Bears, Colts, Buccaneers, Lions, and Jags game. That's awesome. You're going to have a lot of fun there. I only got one Rams game that I think I'm going to this year against the Giants. If I can go to more, I'll let you guys know, but I think it's going to be just the Giants. I've been to both of the preseason games so far. They've been hella fun. The things they do before the game hype me up. Big dub for Jake on the stream. Thank you. Pre-game ritual jump around with energy with 7 Nation Army. I hate the 49ers. What's going on with Ernest Jones? Ernest Jones has set himself up to potentially start this year. That's what's going on with him. Who you got your eye on for the last preseason game? That's a great question, Will. So let's get into it, right? Obviously, Bryce Perkins, I think, is playing for a spot. Now, I think they'll keep 3, but it could be because, Bryce Perkins earns it this Saturday. Maybe they need to see another game. That's why they got rid of Hodges. I also think Hodges could come back on the practice squad, and that was actually more of a strategic ploy to drop him off now. That way, recency bias, he's not, he's available, and they could just sign him immediately. They don't have to wait for him to clean, to go through waivers and all of that. They can just have this negotiation, have kind of a handshake agreement, and sign him to a practice squad. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But Bryce Perkins is a guy that I'm looking forward to seeing, of course. Obviously. Another guy it's going to be interesting. Do they play Sony Michel or not? Because if they do, that takes away snaps from Xavier Jones. It takes away snaps from Jake Funk. I do want to see those guys get more snaps, as well as how much does Otis Anderson play? And does Otis Anderson return kicks, or do they have Tutu Atwell return kicks? That's something I'm looking at. Tight ends. Bryson Hopkins. Is he on the cusp of getting cut, or is he already on the team? I guess we'll see. He's played the most snaps of any tight end on this team. I think Bryson Hopkins is going to make this roster. I think he's been asked to do more than Jacob Harris. I don't think they're comparable. Jacob Harris has been used more as a flex tight end, as I've mentioned, whereas Bryson Hopkins is taking on the brunt of the blocking opportunities. He is taking on the workload inline tight end, a true tight end. And I think there's a reason for that. They're trying to develop him to make him a well-rounded guy, maybe a Kyle Rudolph type of player with a little bit more athleticism than Rudolph had. But I don't think that they're cutting Bryson Hopkins. And then does Tremaine Ankrum play? And different guys, like say, does Nopum get in on this? If not, then he's by far a lock. Is Bobby Evans playing again late into the fourth quarter? That would kind of give it away to me that he's not going to make this team. Defensive line. Is Jonah Williams getting opportunities? Is Ernest Brown showing up? I was hoping to see more out of Ernest Brown. I haven't been too impressed with him. Does Chris Garrett play enough? Do we see Justin Lawler at all? Does Jake Gervais, shine? Does he give him a glimmer of hope and a reason, they should snag him on the practice squad and develop him? Christian Roseboom, guys like that. And then the receivers, of course, or not the receivers, and the receivers, the corners and the receivers. So the receivers, does Tristan Jackson come back? Does he have to come back? Does Landon Akers make a push for the sixth spot? Does J.J. Koski get the sixth spot? How does that go? Corners, what I would say, Kareem Orr, do we see him? Bronte Harris, Tyler Hall, do they step up? Safety, are we going to see J.R. Reed or Juju Hughes get benched? If we see that, then that's a pretty good inclination that one of those guys has made the team. So it's all very interesting. That's what I'm going to be looking at to answer your question, Will. Let's see here. Like the stream, almost at 100. You should do a collab with Jay in the Bay. Interesting. I don't know who that is, but I can definitely look him up after this. I heard on social media that they were saying SoFi's food was terrible. I saw that too. Do you like Browning over Ernest? I still do. I think Browning offers more, but I do like Ernest Jones. Over these 2 years, I have grown to see 49ers as a bigger rival than the Seahawks. If we don't beat them, I will be so mad. I hear you there. Appreciate the early vid today. Jake was on it. Thank you so much, ADM. Appreciate you. The Seahawks will go 9-8, fourth in the division. I do have them fourth in the division as well. Any other free agents you think we're eyeballing, or do you feel our only other signings would be cuts from other teams? Maybe anybody else on another roster we want to trade for? Doable ones, of course. Ryan, I would say probably they're going to be looking at waivers. That's going to be the name of the game here. They're going to look to see who gets released and what have you, and that's, they'll make their play there. Do you see us keeping Troy Warner? I do not, unfortunately, but I do think Troy Warner could be on the practice squad. I know that name holds a lot of value. Warner with the Rams, but furthermore, Fred Warner's the best linebacker in football, so I'm sure Fred Warner, when he gets cut, is going to be pushing for the 49ers to maybe claim him. So we'll see. But I'd like him on the practice squad for sure. A lot of flags last game. Cardinals are a threat for once now with J.J. Watt. That's a big statement. You believe in Arizona that much? I still see a whole division in playoffs, but Arizona at the bottom. Kyler Murray gets injured sometime 6-7. Cardinals get fourth at 6-10. I don't see that, but I hate the taunting rule. I'm not really a fan of it. Where do you think Stafford will rank next year? I think he's going to win MVP. Thanks for heads up. I plan on going, and I love spending money on food, especially vendors. They will probably still be fourth. A lot of wasted talent, but more deadly than they've been before. For the Spider-Man, who is your Spider-Man in your head? Toby, Tom, Andrew. For the Spider-Man, who is your Spider-Man in your head? Like, who would I be? Because I look like Tom Holland, so I would probably say Tom Holland. It will always be Toby. Okay. Much has been said about the Rams losing Troy Hill and John Johnson. I don't see a big fall-off with those two gone. I overslept news. Gotta love YouTube's time to take it to process. Did I not just say that, folks? YouTube needs to speed up processing. When I'm doing videos that aren't pre-recorded, so if I'm not taking a stream and cutting it up, you know what that means? That means it's going to be in 4K because I only do videos in 4K when I'm recording them. If I'm taking clips, then they'll be in 60 frames, 1080. But I love having my 4K videos. 4K takes a while to process, but YouTube takes a while in general to process. So sometimes these videos I've already put out, and I put it out 12:30, and 3:30 it gets dropped. I'm sitting there like, it's definitely annoying. I just venting there. I saw, Rams House comments, and I can't stress enough. He is absolutely right. We'll be in Austin, Texas for the Sunday night game versus Chicago. Go Rams. Oh, that'll be great. Sony Michel number predictions. I have them. You'll see it right now, actually, in the ticker. You guys can see I don't know if you guys see the ticker. I honestly forget the ticker's there. But the ticker below, I have Jake's Sony Michel projections. So it's all right there. If you're curious about, say you're a fantasy football fan, you're a Rams fan, what have you, you're a fan of Sony Michel, those are my projections this year. I just calculated them for Sony Michel. No, I mean, who's your favorite Spider-Man? I might still say Tom Holland, but I love all three of them. The taunting rule is such an unnecessary change. Yeah, I agree. Oh, number prediction. Like, what will he wear? I don't know. 26 is taken. 25 is taken. Man, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. 3. I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say he wears 3. Okay. Rams will, he'll take 6 if Johnny Hekker gets traded. I'm something of a Toby myself. Let's see. The Rams will go to 14-3, first in the division. I have them at 15-2, but we're very similar there. 2 losses are to the 49ers, one of them, and the other one is to the Ravens at the end of the year. What are your NFC West predictions because of other teams, the Rams in first? I cannot confidently rank the others. Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, and Seahawks in that order. Let's see. Who else see Rams as first 17-0? I don't see them as 17-0, but that would be awesome. Toby, best. Peter Parker, Andrew, best Spider-Man. Tom is best of both worlds. All are great. I agree with that. That's a good point. We need a projection for how many taunting penalties Jalen will get. Oh, God. Me and the fam going to Bucks, Seahawks, 49ers, Titans games and selling the rest of the tickets. We're season ticket holders. Oh, that's awesome. Jake, what have you thought about Tutu? His route running, his speed. Personally, I've been impressed. He's small but big. Plays big. Got hurt but came back, so he has grit. Just has his speed and dust people. Yeah, I mean, Tutu's exactly what I've kind of thought. He's a smaller guy. He's going to get banged up a little bit. But he is a really good route runner. I've been saying, while they'll be using him as a gadget guy because he's waiting for his turn to take over the Deshaun Jackson role, he's not a gadget guy. At Louisville, he was not used the same way the West Virginia Mountaineers used Tavon Austin. So that, while it's a similar comparison, it doesn't even seem fair because Austin was used more as a running back at times, than really a gadget guy. Like, I mean, he was a running back just as much as a receiver, whereas, really, to be honest with you, Tutu Atwell was always a receiver who struggled because Malik Cunningham's last season, or his last season with Malik Cunningham, he took a nosedive as far as production was concerned. He wasn't as efficient as a passer, and it hurt Tutu Atwell. Where do you think the Rams defense will rank this year? I think they'll be top 10. Rams 14-3. Akers comes back during playoffs. We win the Super Bowl. I think Hekker is gone. I feel like Sony rocking number 7 would be absolute heat. I would love him to wear number 7, except there's one problem. Bob Waterfield has the number retired for 7. It sucks because I love the number 7 and I wanted to see it in the modern day, but it's not ever going to happen. You love it when you try to get a video out fast and your computer takes forever on everything. Oh, yeah, well, the computer, because I have a Mac Mini, that thing spits out my content very quickly. But YouTube will just sit there and process. And sometimes, the last video I ever took with my original, my Canon M50, EOS M50, before I upgraded the Sony A6400, the last video, the Tim Tebow video, the 5-minute Tim Tebow video, took 6 hours to process. So it never makes any sense. It's completely, it's all up for, I don't know. It's just all random at this point. So it's really irritating. The Rams will lost to the Ravens, Green Bay Packers, and 49ers. Number 20 is, oh, that's right. Jalen was number 20, but now, yeah, Michel might wear that then. I'm going to say 3-20. I'm also going to take a sip of this because, wow, I talk a lot, and I talk really fast, and I make myself have sore throats because of it. Well, that was a well-deserved sip. We've been streaming for how long? Hour and nearly 30 minutes? Damn, this has been a fun stream. Over 100 people. Like, a lot of the time. JE Live brought to you by Sparkling Ice. I still think it's Rams Chargers in the Super Bowl. Nice ice sparkling water ad right there. Beautiful. Hey, we're trying. Akers went back to 23. Michelle could wear that. What is your least favorite part of uploading or editing a video? For me, it's either the description or syncing the mic up to the video. The mic took a while, and then I got a really good routine where I have my Final Cut Pro application, and I stopped worrying about, trying to just figure out a way to, record it on a separate computer. And then I just started doing it on the same computer. And I did it on Logic Pro, and it just, I don't know. It's fine now. Before I used to have all sorts of issues, but now I can sync it up pretty easily. Actually, you know what I originally did? I used OBS. And so the problem is, for any content creators out there, if you use OBS to record a video, it may be the easy way out. Or say you try streaming. See, there's people that you don't know. They will stream a video. And they'll keep it unlisted so nobody sees it, but it saves it as a video. So basically, you don't have to go through a ton of the processing. It's already up there. You just hit public, and it shows up. And there's your video. There's no editing that needs to be done. You're good. Problem is, no editing. You can't color grade. And I color grade my videos. If you can't tell, my live streams, I can't color grade. So that's why the yellow over there, the blue over there, there's no vignette, all of that. That's why. My color grading makes it darker, but I pop out more. There's no color grading on a live stream. So that's the first thing. The second thing, though, is so you can't edit, you can't color grade. The third thing is that your mic will not be the same. It's not going to be linked up because at the end of the day, it can't be. You recording it over, a connection or whatever. Live streams are never fully linked up. They're pretty linked up, but there's always a little bit of a delay. So I always say, do not use OBS to record videos. I know it's a pain, but shoot the video natively on the camera, and then attach either take out your memory card, your SD card or whatever, insert it into. Hopefully you have a card reader. If you don't, then get one of those connection cables like I do. Connect the thing, upload it in Final Cut or whatever you use, and then you edit it right there. And then you can color grade it right there. Then you just, while you're doing the video, you just throw up, you know, however you do your audio recording. Like for me, I use Logic Pro. Throw up Logic Pro, record on Logic Pro, and then you combine the two. And that's my process. Now, what I've actually been considering doing, and I don't know if this would ever work, but as you guys know, I'm always trying to, not always trying to make money, so to speak, but I'm always trying to monetize my time. Because if I monetize this, if I continue to build this, build income, then I can move closer to making this my full-time job. So I've considered putting out a course. I've never done anything like that before, but if anybody's interested, I've considered putting out a content creator course. All the just tips, like maybe $10 or $15, and it's just a course of all the tips that I have, that I've used and followed since 2016 to grow the way I have. So I'm not saying I'm the biggest, but if anybody needs a start, I've been considering doing that. If anyone would be interested in that, reach out to me. Let me know if that's a good idea. If not, I just won't approach it. Shout out Sparkling. Yeah. I use Audacity to record audio. I use my camera for the video, put up the SD card in the laptop. Yeah. See, that's pretty much the way to go. TJ, you would? I'll put it together at some point. I'll do a course. If you guys do want to support the channel further, because obviously you guys really do support the channel. We have 116 likes, which is more than the viewers we have now, which is freaking awesome. But if you guys want to support it further, I did open up more tiers to the membership. You can sign up and become a member today for just as little as 99 cents a month. Or you can go all the way up to $9.99 a month and get access to multiple crazy perks. We have 4 tiers. So if anyone's interested in that, link is in the description. I'll also drop that in the comments. If I can find it. Awkward. Okay. Let's see. 1 second. Man, this is fun, though. Been on for a while. I mean, hey, Rim's house, I can share with you what I have. So, essentially, where is it? Any concern about the fact we are lacking depth at several key positions? I don't think we're lacking that much depth, to be honest with you. I think it's a little overblown, personally. I understand concern, though. Yeah, I'll never forget my 3 weeks of straight streaming. We'll get back to that eventually. So that is the link. You follow that link, and that is how you can become a member of my channel. And for those of you that are wondering what the hell that means, I have different tiers. So I have a tier, if you just want to just say that you're a member, you want a badge, 99 cents a month. Then I have $2.99 a month, and then I have $4.99 a month, and then I have $10.99 a month. Sorry, $9.99 a month. I can't even talk. So just to give you an idea, a silver member would be $2.99 a month. That would add loyalty badges next to your name. You'd have access to custom emojis in my comments and live chats. Members only live stream access and member shoutouts in videos. Gold members would have early access to new videos. So anytime I do those early access, you'd have access to those. And request a personal members only video, a 5-minute members only video. I do a video for you. And then finally the $9.99 one, which actually I will point out, shout out to Ram Fan Ashton. He has actually signed up for the $9.99 a month one. Not $99, $9.99. It's guest host access to 1 live stream a month, Twitter shout out, and gameplay. So that means if he wanted to basically come on my stream and host it, co-host it with me, he pays for that. On top of that, gameplay. Like, if you ever want to play a game with me, if he wants to game, we can do that. Madden, whatever. On top of that, the Twitter shout out as well. So those are just some things out there if you guys really want to, you know, add a little bit more, your perks and everything with the channel. If not, I totally get it, and I understand, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I get it. But if you want to further support the channel, there you go. Don't feel like you have to, but there you go. So, going to have to upgrade my subscription. AZZA. Do you think Cam Akers can come back from this Achilles injury and be productive like before? It's hard to tell. Man, it is hard to tell. I hope he can. I hope he can. I don't know for sure, though, to be honest with you. It's a good sign 6 weeks in or whatever. He's already 75% on the treadmill. That's a really good sign. But we'll see, you know. Are you kidding me? Scott? Dude, anybody could beat me in Madden. It's all for the experience. I'm not great at Madden, you guys know. Although, I did have multiple people reaching out to me and being like, yo, what gives? Why did Madden screw you over so much during that game? And I'm over here like, man, I don't know. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Which LA Rams, which Aaron Donald jersey did you get? Was it the modern throwback? I'm still waiting for mine from DH Gate. I got a Jacob Harris one. Hopefully that doesn't jinx him. No, I'm absolutely not great at Rocket League. I used to be. Oh my god, I am bad at Rocket League. Oh, nice. Awesome. It is the modern throwback. It's hard to say. I don't really play video games as much anymore. I've really just been streaming Madden. Yeah, Rams House. You and I both need way more subs to be able to go full time, but I think we're both going in the right direction for sure. That's cool. Yeah, I love it. I'll get like donations. Like during the year, I had the Matthew Stafford stream. I think I got over $90 in donations. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's also crazy how messed up the channel analytics are right now. So the subscriber count on YouTube dashboard is showing me below 6,400. But here it's showing me 6,420, so I don't know. Oh, I got it. Yeah, YouTube apparently is down. Their analytics is, anyway. Man, we are killing it on the Sony Michel video. 4.3K today. That's what we like to see. I will give you $60 every touchdown. He lived up to it. Wow. Thoughts on Trevor Lawrence starting over Minshew? I get it, but it sucks. I'm a big Minshew fan. I wish he'd get an opportunity somewhere else. Doesn't look like he will. He'll probably end up backing up, which sucks, but, you know. Oh, nice. The Cup jersey, I dig it. Yeah, Rams house. I think YouTube is all sorts of whack today, because it's telling me I have 4,369 views for the Henderson, and then it's showing 4,022. So it's like it's all over the place, really. Minshew and the Rams, huh? Yeah, it even says data is currently unavailable for some videos. As a result, displayed information may be inaccurate. They have those fits there. How long do I think it'll be until Urban Meyer gets fired? Oh man, I don't know. He's doing things very nonchalantly though. Yeah, I feel like Chris Garrett's my next jersey, to be honest with you. I have all the jerseys I really want. That's what I'm saying. I don't really know if I want a 2 Woods jersey. I like 17. It's an awesome number. Honestly, Atwell, number 15. Number 15 is one of my favorite numbers. I think it really is my favorite number, to be honest with you. That's why I have JK Bogan 15 as my Twitch account. I might have to get Atwell just because I love 15. And 15 on a Rams jersey, I might have to do that. I need Atwell to step up so I can get 15. There we go. There's your challenge. 2-2. Don't let me down, because that is a big number. 15 is huge. Don't let me down. That's awesome. Yeah, we have merch. Description below. Downtown Rams and my Jake Ellenbogen channel. There's merch over buyjack.com, and we have a Beast 99T, so to speak. We're gonna have other stuff as well. 15 Ferragamo. 15's just dope, man. I was going to say I normally don't do that, but I feel like I keep doing it. Cam Akers, I have a jersey of. I got it as soon, like before he even played. Burgess, Fuller. You know. Yeah, I got a Harris one coming in for, it is the, what the hell is it called? Modern Throwback. I mean, man, the Chris Garrett 48, though, looks so nice. Like, I want 48 and I want 15. I love the 48 number because, one, Shaquille Barrett wore it with the Broncos, and I was a huge Shaquille Barrett fan. But two, the main reason, Jimmy Johnson is my favorite NASCAR driver. 48 has been a huge number for me for years. And it just doesn't work on a running back, although Steven Davis kind of made it work, in Carolina and with St. Louis. But, I think 48 on a edge defender like Chris Garrett, an athletic pass rusher, 48 works. I like 48 with Chris Garrett. Yeah, no chance am I ordering that. That is hideous. 17 was always a cool number. 17, Sean McVay had 17 initially, if you remember. I'm not saying he wears jerseys, but Sean McVay had the 17 jersey when he was in the press conference when they announced him. Yeah, I love the 48. Love the 48 car, too. Like I was saying, Jimmy Johnson. I mentioned Jimmy Johnson earlier on the first JE Live where I was talking with Ron. Yeah, Chris Garrett, man. He does a little bit of everything. It's what I said. We can talk all over and over and over again. Well, competition. Blah, 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 blah. Well, He went up against Patrick Omame, who's not the best, but he's a 9-year vet. He's played in the NFL for 9 years. He put him on skates. It wasn't close. Garrett dominated him. And Garrett didn't just run by him. Garrett used multiple moves. Garrett has a toolbox. He has an arsenal of pass rushing maneuvers. And then he shows you against the Cowboys in the joint practice, this guy can move and he can cover. So he has coverage ability. He has a toolbox of pass rushing maneuvers. He can stop the run. That sure sounds to me like he's on a good trajectory to doing something in this league. It's actually why I had a pretty high grade on him when I went back and I scouted him for the prospect encyclopedia. Yeah, that's how it goes. You'll get used to it, Rams House. Chris Garrett I ranked my top 30 favorite picks in the draft, and Chris Garrett was in there. SJD is awesome. Oh yeah, Modern Throwback is going to be cool for game 1. $15 is it? Are you kidding me? 15's a great number. Chris Garrett, preseason Hall of Famer. Where was Chris before that game, though? The first game, Chris actually did a nice job of generating pressure. He didn't start, though. And so seeing him start, going up against guys that have had starting experience in this league, like, say, Omame, that said a lot. Chris Garrett started the game on week 2. Week 1, he didn't start, but he showed some promise. I don't think he was used a ton. This week, he was used a lot. Thanks, Luke. Thank you so much for chilling. Appreciate you. I mean, nearly having 2,000 views in potentially under 2 hours and having an average watch time of 5 minutes and 49 seconds is super awesome. Like, that's impressive, and I appreciate you guys for that. And we're still over 100 views. I still own that. Or not own it, I still rent it. So I still have that room. But I ended up really putting together such a nice setup here that I've just been streaming here. So, we were really just going to use that for the AJ show. We went on hiatus, and we're going to be picking that back up when the season starts. So the room is really for the AJ show. I was using it before, before that, and now I just love my setup so much. I love being able to just go right from my living space or just right here at my desk, say working, and then going and doing a live stream. So that's a great question, Rams House. But that's why. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It all started when I realized I could go live. I don't even remember what did it for me, but one day I was just like, oh, I guess I can go live. And then I decided to do it. I think my first ever live stream, the Rams lost because it was right before the Packers game, playoffs. And then we did the post game. Now, the pre-game was pretty good. It was after an AJ show episode. Pre-game was good. Post-game, it blew up. But it didn't blow up anywhere near is when one day I was telling Blaine, who was following the Senior Bowl, he was going to give us the Senior Bowl report and everything. You guys remember this story. We're talking about the Senior Bowl. We're talking about, Kellen Mond, guys that showed out. And all of a sudden, the Rams trade for Matthew Stafford, and I changed the I waste no time. I changed the title, and I changed the what is it? What the hell is it called? The thumbnail. So I create a thumbnail with Matthew Stafford in a Rams jersey saying Matthew Stafford it is. And then boom, we go from 60 people. That's like kind of fluctuating between 40 and 60 in the stream, which was pretty awesome. Shouldn't have taken that for granted like I did then. To over 600 in about 20 minutes. That was a very good night, and I made a lot. I made a lot of revenue because there were so many people donating because everyone was so happy. You know, it was just such a huge deal. I mean, you had the golf fans, the golf only fans that were really pissed. I just said golf only fans. That's really funny. But they were really pissed about it. I personally really liked it. I like Jared Goff. I appreciate Jared Goff, what he meant for the Rams, what he was able to do his last game, you know, at the frozen tundra against, you know, Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau, Aaron Donald about 30% health, no Cooper Kupp. Got to give him credit, right? But at the same time, he didn't win the game. And at the same time, you know, the reason they were in that position was mainly because Jared Goff. They fell down the stretch. It was starting to get a little ugly. I mean, they should have beat Seattle in Seattle. They lost because Jared Goff threw that awful pass, you know, trying to get to Robert Woods. But, agreed. I think you were wearing a Van Jefferson jersey on the Packers day. I was. Great memory. Van Jefferson had himself a good game. I still think people are sleeping on Van Jefferson, man. And I've said this. I think I was sleeping on Deshaun Jackson to a degree, but I also think that Van Jefferson is going to have consistency this season that people just don't realize. And yeah, I'm feeling good about him. Yeah, golf stands can be a little weird. Really, AB? Van Jefferson reminds me of a player that maybe some of you remember and some of you don't. Joe Horn of the New Orleans Saints. I think he's similar to Joe Horn. He's around the same size, 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds. Good route runner, big playability. There hasn't been much Van Jefferson talk at all this offseason. Lately there has. He's been, apparently he's been making a lot of headway as far as, getting that trust with Matthew Stafford and getting, acclimated. Can't wait to see Jamal Adams and his 9.5 sacks. Jamal Adams, if he had like 9.5 sacks this year, would be really close to being the all-time leader in sacks for a defensive back. I bet you didn't know that. I agree with that. You think Johnny Munt's gonna explode? I don't know if he'll explode. I think he's gonna have a solid year. But we'll see. Ugh. So, guys, just so you know, the season can't come soon enough. Can't wait to see these rookies in second year. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, guys. I mean, it's getting to that time, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get those videos out to you. The 53 man, I think, is going to be a hit. I'm going to break that down. We got our watch party Saturday. We got another 53 man, and then cut day. As long as I don't have a job that requires me to be there on that day or be available working, as long as I don't have a job by then. Then we'll do the live stream during cut day. So I did. I saw the video and everything. Cool stuff. Yeah. Oh man, it is it's back to being hard again to hang up on everybody because I remember when we used to have, 300 plus people in the live stream at once. And it's just the hardest part about having a successful live stream like we had tonight is knowing when to stop, because you never want to leave when you see 89 people in there and you haven't even been on the air for 2 hours. That's the hard part. That's the part that makes it very difficult. It's like, I guess I'll wait because we're almost at 2,000 views. So I'll wait until we get there because I'm a snob like that. But where do you get that Harris throwback? DHgate. Yes, join the Discord is in the link is in the description. I can also post the link in here. Just bear with me one sec. If it ever loads, my God. I'm trying to bring up Discord, not run a game. How can you see how many views you have when you're total when you are live? Great question. So when you are, let's see here. Okay. So Ram's house, where you see create on top of YouTube, you have that video icon. What you're going to do is when you click that, it'll give you options: upload videos, go live, create post. When you hit go live, you go to manage. The thing that you are live with at that moment, you can actually click on that. And when you click on that, it's going to show you your concurrent viewers, which is 86, your likes, which is 125, and then you can go, instead of stream settings, viewer activity, stream health. Viewer activity shows you anytime somebody donates, anytime somebody drops a super chat or becomes a member, it goes in the viewer activity. Stream health is going to tell you, how well your stream's doing, how well it's connected, all that. But analytics is actually going to show you that. Analytics will show you the concurrent viewers. It'll show you the chat rate. So right now, we are averaging about 2 comments per minute. That doesn't sound right. Not 2 comments per second. Yeah, I'm not really sure what chat rate is, to be honest with you, but it says 2. And then playbacks, I have 1,995. And then average watch time, I have 554. You can change it. You can show chat rate, bar graph, and all this. Like, let's see. Here's a crazy one. So at the 11:30 mark, we had 12 chats. So 12 messages happened right at the 11:30 mark. And then it can show playbacks, which are views. So playbacks, we broke 2,000. We have 2,002 now. So that's how that works. And Ram's house, or anybody, if you ever have any questions on how to use certain analytics, things like that, I'm learning as I go, but I can definitely help you if you need me to. Always down. And I'll work on maybe creating a content creator course. We'll see. Guys, be sure to follow me on Twitter. My DMs are always open. I had multiple people ask me today if they can DM me. They literally tweeted at me, asked me if they could DM me. You could always DM me. I may not answer immediately, but I promise I will get back to you. And when I do, I will give you the best answer to my ability. I've been asked for tips. I've been asked for all sorts of stuff. Even money, which, depending, if there's a reason, maybe I'll consider. But someone asked me to give them $20, and I didn't even know who they were, so that was funny. And then I was like, oh, for a charity? And they're like, nah, I just need $20. I started cracking up. But I guess that's what happens when your DMs are wide open. But hey, we're getting there. We just got past 8,000 subscribers yesterday, so pretty awesome. I think we're at 8,200 now. Not subscribers, followers. Get those two mixed up sometimes. Yeah, we're 8,200 followers. We are grinding on Twitter. We are grinding on here. We're over 6,400. And it's been a lot of fun. So I'll work on building that course, maybe make it $10, $15, something like that. Just get, some tips out there, my process. And if anybody needs me, let me know. But I will be back. Maybe we'll get a 53-man prediction tomorrow, which actually would be today on my side of the world. But if not, probably Friday. And then I think on Saturday, Saturday we will have the live watch party for the Rams-Broncos preseason. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I can't stress it enough. And I talk a lot. So I understand that might not be as fun. I do try to answer all the questions. I think somehow, some way, I always seem to catch up to them. If not, then it's obviously too busy. But, oh yeah, I'd put all that. AZZA, I would absolutely put all that in the content creator course. Oh, man. Sometimes you just got to breathe, What's up, bro? Just subbed. Love your channel, Ben. Watching you and Rams House for a min. Hey, thanks, Snake Jr. Appreciate that. Means a lot. And it keeps us going. So, really do appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry, I'm running out of juice here. I could keep going. The energy level isn't gone. I'm running on 2 of these. But the fact is, my voice is about gone because I recorded a video earlier. I recorded a podcast. And on top of that, I did a live stream earlier with my buddy Ron Clements, who you can check that video out on my channel. You could also check out the video I pre-recorded earlier on Sony Michel if you want to learn a little bit about it. I'll try my best to cut up different clips of this, this live stream, maybe 3 of them if I can. If I find that, it's newsworthy. Excuse me. I try my best to put out the best, type of, content out here. And sometimes I go too overboard. And then I end up having like 6 video-worthy clips that I could take. And then it becomes too much. But I'll try my best to get those out. Yes, the voice is really hard. You just got to keep it, obviously, lubricated with, stuff like this. But, Also, you should never talk as fast as I do. I probably hurt myself because I talk so much and so quickly. It's just when you have thoughts on your mind, it makes you just amped, But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to work on that course. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Rams House. Thank you, everybody. AZZA, I will let you guys know. I will post that. When I have the course made, I will post it in my description. It will live there. Anybody can buy it at any time. I think we'll go through gumroad.com and have that. I think the course can be $10, $15, something like that. It will have everything you need to know, content creator, what I took. Again, this is my process. Other processes work, I'm not saying, and this is very, very important, guys. This isn't, me being the trainer that says that dude, his way, even though it works for him, doesn't work. And I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you that it doesn't work. My way is not the only way, but it is the way, it's my process, so I will explain it. I will teach it, and I'll let you guys know when that comes out. I'm looking forward to releasing that course. Also, if you guys want to join the channel, $9.99 is the biggest tier, but if you want to join as low as 99 cents a month, you become a member and you get one of those nice badges that you see AZZA rocking. So, again, thank you guys. I could keep going on and on and on, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let you guys breathe. We went over 2,000 views in 2 hours, and I feel really good about this stream. So, again, thank you so much for making my night. I hope I made yours, and I will see you guys later. Take care.